Firstly, happy 15th National Voters' Day to all the Nagaland citizens. Aji India pura den Voters Day mana National Voters Day mana nishna ami khan state TV aji 15th National Voters Day manai se ide Batkai Christian College Autonomous Sidikima CHUMOUKEDIMA bra. Aji laga special guest is Mr. Tavazilan KIS, Principal Director School Education Nagaland. Aitu laga upur de Mr. Vyasan RIS, Chief Electoral Officer Nagaland. Tahan rabi aji ide 15th National Voters Day de aigina hisa loise aibi ami khan aji laga 15th National Voters Day laga upur de khatak tawa saisawa.
Since 2011, NVD is celebrated on the 25th January across the country to mark the foundation day of the establishment of the Election Commission of India on 25th January 1950, a day prior to India becoming a republic. We can only participate in the electoral process if we are registered as an elector. We have opened a facilitation registration booth just outside our hall. I would like to invite all those who are already eligible and yet are not registered as an elector to avail this opportunity and go and get yourself registered. It's a very simple process. You just have to fill out a form and submit certain documents. The college authority must have informed the student community of what all are required to be registered as an elector. And therefore, if you are yet to be registered as an elector, then take the first step today by registering yourself in the electoral roll, and which will enable you to participate in the electoral process of this country. Let us remember that every vote is a step towards a stronger democracy.
The objective of NPD is to address the challenges of low voter turnout and to encourage more citizens, particularly the youth, to register as voters. The National Voters Day 2025 is a reminder of the vital role citizens play in a democracy, thereby reinforcing the value of electoral participation and ensuring that all citizens understand the power that they hold through their vote. Let us continue to make a collective effort to inspire our fellow citizens, especially the youth, to register and participate in the electoral process. And let us also spread the message that nothing is more impactful than casting our vote, for in every vote lies the promise of a brighter, more inclusive future ahead. Thank you.
Namaskar. Greetings to all voters on the eve of the 15th National Voters Day. This year, National Voters Day is particularly special as the Election Commission completes 75 years of dedicated service to this great nation. National Voters Day is not just an occasion to celebrate the inception of the Election Commission of India, but also an opportunity to honor the very spirit of democracy embodied by every voter. In 2024, the world witnessed the grand spectacle of India creating a world record of 64.6 crore voters exercising their franchise in the Lok Sabha elections. The elections saw another heartening milestone in which women with a 65.78% turnout took the lead and participated more than male voters with a turnout of 65.5%. The elections were more inclusive than ever before. We witnessed a 46% increase in registrations amongst persons with disabilities as compared to the previous general elections. Registration of third gender electors almost doubled in these elections. Our elderly voters aged above 85 years and PWD voters were facilitated with the option of voting from the comfort of their homes. These elections witnessed nearly zero recalls and violence was kept at bay, even in states where it was prevalent. In Jammu and Kashmir, the solid foundation of democratic participation led during the Lok Sabha elections was further strengthened and transformed into a magnificent edifice of a peaceful, progressive and vibrant democratic ethos. The long queues of voters at the polling stations, patiently waiting with a glint of hope in their eyes, represented the democratic essence of our nation. Similarly, in the Naxal-affected areas of Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, voters echoed the spirit of democracy witnessed in the rest of the country. Voters silenced the sounds of bullets and calls for boycotts with a determined resolve to cast their vote. In many LWE areas, villagers voted for the first time at polling stations in their own villages. Voters are the ultimate custodians of our democracy. Their awareness and wisdom are the force behind our democracy. I salute the sagacity and intelligence of the Indian voters. Along with voters, I also thank the entire election machinery, the polling personnel, security forces and other staff for keeping our democracy on the rails. They play a pivotal role in ensuring that the elections happen with perfection, precision and peacefully. Friends, today we are witnessing across the globe an era of polarized campaigns during elections, possibilities of external interference and growing challenges in cybersecurity space. Misinformation and fake narratives spread instantaneously and with alarming speed. A dangerous trend is emerging where baseless allegations are made against the election process that could damage the confidence of the voters and the national fabric. On social media, algorithms are designed in a way that content is aligned with whatever is viewed, and thus viewpoints get hardened without adequate exposure to the other side of the argument. Friends, democracy belongs to all of us. Indian democracy is our shared heritage, nurtured and strengthened over the past 75 years, a legacy in which voters rightfully takes pride. This legacy is proudly shared by political parties who, after voters, are critical stakeholders in strengthening democracy. It is everybody's duty that election campaigns are not disruptive or divisive and unfounded narratives are not built as it tends to disillusion and distance our youth from the electoral process. Today, India stands proud as the world's largest and most diverse democracy. For us, in Election Commission of India, trust and transparency are two sides of the same coin. It fills us with immense pride that the number of voters in our country have now crossed 99 crores. We are almost on the verge of becoming a nation of 1 billion voters soon. Our achievements in securing high voter turnout in recent years have been heartening, hitting the 65% mark in the last 3 national elections. However, we will still have a distance to cover. I call upon all eligible citizens to register as voters without fail and vote in each election. A special appeal to voters in towns and cities and to the forward-looking community of the youth to take sincere interest in electoral participation and come out to vote. Once again, I extend my warm wishes on this occasion of National Voters' Day, which is a reminder for all of us of our responsibility in upholding democracy in our country. Jai Hind.
A democratic nation is run on the slogan, all the people, by the people, and for the people. An election is the process through which it is accomplished. Our right to vote enables us to choose our representative of our choice to run our government. I therefore encourage the youth who are 18-year-olds and yet to register are requested to register themselves and participate in election process and vote consciously and wisely. And let us also remember the importance of voting and never underestimate it. May the celebration of 15th National Voters' Day 2025 at PCC be an enlightening and a blessing to all of us present here. Thank you so much.
The importance of elections, the importance of voting, if it is properly imbibed by the people, by the young generation, by the youth of this state and by the youth of this country, then I think our country is in safe hands. All of you will be wondering what the slogan of the National Voters' Day, which is nothing like voting, I vote for sure, is all about. It seems like a disjointed phrase. So I would like to think that, or I would like to believe that, the election process is a process that reminds us of the importance of teamwork. And as young citizens of this nation, as young citizens of our state, I think this is the message that election department and elections, if nothing else, should have or should leave on you. Nothing good in this for us. Nothing good will occur to us, will happen to us, unless and until we work as a team, we are united. I will not take any much of your time. You are all very bored, I can make out, and Thawashilan has a lovely speech ready. Again, I would like to thank the college authorities for having acceded to our request and allowed us to come and have this function here in this beautiful campus. in this most important campus in the country, in the state. Thank you again. Thank you all. A happy National Voters' Day to one and all. Thank you. We, the citizens of India, having abiding faith in democracy, hereby pledge to uphold the democratic traditions of our country and the dignity of free, fair and peaceful elections, and to vote in every election fearlessly and without being influenced by considerations of religion, race, caste, community, language, or any inducement. Please sit down. Thank you.
We are the most populous nation on earth, and with 140 crore, 1.4 billion people, the Indian elections, the Lok Sabha elections, are touted to be the largest peacetime movement of men and materials anywhere on the globe. Peacetime movement, this is the largest movement of men and materials, right? So the CEC in his message, if you looked at it, he was talking about certain numbers. So right now we've crossed 99 crore voters, just a crore shy of 1 billion voters. That's like almost 3.2 times the population of the United States, one of the largest, most populous nations. So the Lok Sabha elections 2024, they just concluded the previous year, saw a voter turnout of 64.6 crores, which would essentially mean twice the population of the United States. Every person living in the United States had to vote, and you double it, this is a little more than that. So that's the number that we're looking at. And as Vyasan sir had indicated, in our state, if you look at it, just look at the mere numbers just for our state. I mean, we have a population of 20 lakhs. Entire departments coming together and conducting elections. So that's the magnitude of what we're looking at. And in 2024, for the first time in the history of the Lok Sabha elections, the number of women voters, the women voter turnout, exceeded that of men voters. The women voters turnout stood at 65.78%. The male voter turnout stood at 65.5%. First time again in 2024, there was almost a 46% increase in the registration of electors who are differently abled. The number of third gender voters, their registration almost doubled when compared to 2019. So if you look at the numbers, I mean, it just leaves you in awe. That's what we're looking at. I mean, the effort of everyone concerned. Lakhs and lakhs of people come together to ensure that the election happens. So you sort of realize your respect for the Election Commission of India as an institution, for all the state election departments, goes up many notches when you just realize the numbers that are involved. Please encourage electoral participation in your families and your communities. Voter registration and turnout has to be mandatorily made a priority. The more people who turn out to vote, the better the election results are going to be. Embrace ethical voting. Don't be influenced by any factor other than development and what's best for your district, for your state, and for the nation at large. And try and empower in your own way possible marginalized communities, men, women, differently abled individuals, senior citizens, third gender voters, and other marginalized communities. Please do your best to ensure that they also register and turn out for voting. And that's, as the CEC says, we are the custodians of our democracy. It's a shared heritage, and it's important that we preserve it for ages to come. Thank you so much, and God bless us all.
On behalf of Election Department of Nagaland, I'm glad to be standing here to express my vote of thanks to all of you present here to celebrate the 15th National Voters' Day 2025 here at Patkai Christian College. A special thanks to our special guest, Sri Devasanan K. IAS, Principal Director, School Education Nagaland, for accepting our invitation and for being here with us today. Your presence and your speech have truly inspired us. I thank our Chief Electoral Officer, Sri Vesinara IAS, for always supporting and guiding us. Sincere thanks to Patkai Christian College, headed by the Principal, Vice Principal, faculty and staffs, and my dear students for gladly accepting to host the program and helping us in all logistic ways for making this program a grand success. I also thank the Deputy Commissioner and District Election Officer and all the administrative officers and staffs of CHUMOUKEDIMA for collaborating and your helping hands for the success of the program. Thank you, ATC and ER of Newland for being here in our presence. Not forgetting the Electoral Literacy Club headed by the Nodal Officer, Sri Vetsiti Topi, and media friends for making the time to be with us today and helping us making this event a grand success. Thank you, one and all.
To viewers, apni kan 15th National Voters Day laga program upor details pa sai lushe. Viewers kan ge janai dibo that itu National Voters Day do 2011 de first observe kurna lushe aro this year January 25 de 15 years lushe aro itu Voters Day do India pura de 1950 de establish kurna bi janabuli dia ase aro itu Voters Day de on the eve of Republic Day manai kurna bi ami khala viewers kan ge janabuli dia ase yate Ajilaga special guest Mr. Tavasilan K. IAS, Principal Director, School Education, Nagaland, aro Mr. Vyasan R. IAS, Chief Electoral Officer, Nagaland ba. Taijun laga speech dia dem de janibuli dishe that Amikala state Kimanjun youths 18 years and above ase they are eligible to cast their precious vote aro dukina vote korusle to 18 years and above kan register kura biste nijor la vote cast korule parbo ksha India is a democratic country ami khan laga nijor laga right to vote ase etu karne kiman jun 18 years and above ase tai khan register korigina ami khan laga adult franchise to exercise kurubole encourage kurishe yede Vyasan R. IAS Chief Electoral Officer aro Tavasilan K. IAS Principal Director School Education Nagaland pa. For more news and updates, keep watching Global Window. This is Chanbini with my video journalist Mern Khapa reporting from Patkai Christian College, CHUMOUKEDIMA.